Greetings! And finally, we're actually going to do the long-awaited Kushala Daora fight. Now, I'm still using the same equipment setup, so with the high-grade earplugs and the same gun lance as last.
Let's go, Power Rangers.
Yep. Ah, we're almost done with the 4-star. I'm going to move on to the 5-star missions. That'll be nice. There'll actually be some interesting fights. But note that it's a slaying mission, which I will explain a little bit later. All Elder Dragons are, for example, slaying missions. But what makes them so special, the Elder Dragon missions? Well, again, I'll explain while we're in the middle of a fight. For now, let's take a look at this here.
Look at that.
Yeah.
This guy. I'm going to put a bounty on this monster. Please do not take it. It will kill you.
Do not
for
hunt
sure.
This mission, but I'm going to put a bounty out for it.
Yep.
Logic.
Yep. Genius. This will surely keep adventurers away.
But no, there's poison knives, and that's going to be really important. If you miss with some of your poison knives, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. This, all the Elder Dragons sort of have a gimmick to them. Because they're just that special.
He's elder. He's old, so it should be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Because old things are bad at fighting. I had to qualify that because I didn't want to be mean.
I think in this case he's just gonna kick your ass. Even no matter how.
I don't know. Look at he's even got a beard. That's how old he is. He's a reptile with a beard.
I think it's just part of the. I think it's just snow stuck on his face.
That's just what he wants you to think.
But yeah, so that big husk up there, that's the Kushala Daora's husk.
Yeah.
It sheds its skin every so often, and its skin is made out of metal.
Like a snake. Wait, metal?
Yeah. Like steel or
how does that?
tin.
Is it?
It's
does he just grow?
There's no logic. And notice he's got a wind barrier aura around him. This is why we need poison.
Cause poison beats wind. Is that how this works?
No, that's exactly not how it works. But just think of it as like he needs to concentrate to keep the wind barrier up. But if he's poisoned, he has a hard time doing it. You can also like toss a flash bomb to temporarily bring it down. If you slice off the tail or break the horn on its head, its wind barrier will be down permanently. But
because these are vital to wind?
Actually, yes. Because you know what this wind barrier does? If you get close to it while in melee range, it'll knock you the hell down, allowing the monster to get free hits on you. If you're using a ranged weapon with non-special ammo, like status element ammo, I keep saying status element, but status affecting or elemental ammo, or stuff like that. Then your shots will go through it. But if you're using regular ammo, deflect. And if you're not using a coating, it'll also get deflected.
Well, what does that have to do with its tail?
Because it's in massive amounts of pain, so it can concentrate and keep its aura up.
Oh, okay.
Probably needs to focus.
I'm gonna try not to think about this too hard.
Also,
maybe
if
that's
you have flash bombs and flash was in the sky, it'll fall down.
Oh no.
And give you lots of free hits. Alternatively, if you had bounce bombs, you could place a bounce bomb on them.
Okay, so when would it like arms? On birds. Because if you look at the skeletal structure, they look like big hands with really long fingers. So this guy basically has 6 arms.
Yeah, basically.
6 limbs.
Yeah, 6 limbs.
So he's like a bug.
Yeah, I know, that's kind of what I did. I don't understand, like, they're like, oh, well, if dragons really existed, well, then they'd actually, in theory, just be bugs.
Well, because sometimes dragons only have legs and wings. I've seen that happen when...
Well, that's really more of a wyvern.
Yeah.
But, just getting as much damage as possible. The breakable parts are, as I mentioned, the head and tail, and also each wing. The wings are a bitch to hit. Unless you have a gun lens and you could just point upwards and shell. Now finally I decide, enough playing with him, I'm going to poison him. Oh, and if you manage to hit the head enough, even if it doesn't break, if you hit the head enough, he will, when he staggers, he will be knocked over. And when he's knocked over, his aura will be down for a little while, even after he gets up.
Yeah, you got him.
Now, breaking the head or the tail is not as easy as you think. Now, when I said Elder Dragon fights were unique, I meant that they have a massive hit point pool, and if you bring them below 30% in 30% increments of their health, they will flee after the 25-minute mark, and you have to fight them in the next fight where they keep their health in your last fight. So that's why it's a slaying mission instead of a hunting mission. Now, you can only break the head at the 60% health mark, and the wings can be broken whenever. I believe, at least. The tail, on the other hand, can only be broken at the 30% health mark, so that's kind of your telltale signs on how weak the monster is. The head is and tail is usually always related to certain abilities that they do in fight. Or in a fight, sorry. Yeah, I are bad at language.
English.
Oh, trust me, I'm just as bad at it as Danish because I keep mixing the language with family stuff. And Asperger's syndrome does not help. But yeah, this is also why I'm taking this armor set, because I don't want him to roar and stun me. Because if he roars and stuns me, I'll eat a breath weapon, and then I'll get snowballed, and I don't want to do that.
It would be gross though, because it's been in his mouth.
I know. And note, the only time he can actually freeze you in that big snowball is when you're fighting him in the mountains, because it's cold, and he blows a lot of snow on you. If you're fighting him somewhere without snow, he will ragdoll you around. I'm not kidding.
Whoa.
Oh, maybe not ragdoll, but you get the idea, right?
Yeah. That would be neat if this game had physics, though.
It would be.
You could just kick a dragon off a cliff.
So,
sucker.
The Kushala Daora is really easy to follow. He only goes between 8 and 6. 2 areas. Nowhere else. So you don't even really need to paintball him, ever.
And they're adjacent, so there's not even that much walking.
Yeah. But when you're fighting Kushala Daora, ignore the paint gas bombs that poison gas bombs that you can make. The smoke bombs. I've tried to poison with the poison smoke bombs, but it never seems to work. And for the love of God, bring lots and lots and lots of flash bombs, because that'll just make your fight that much easier. But again, I like the Elder Dragon fights. They're very unique. It's not my favorite of the Elder Dragons. That's actually the most annoying of the Elder Dragons, in my opinion. Just because of the wind barrier that bothers the hell out of you. But you can actually avoid the wind barrier with gear. You can, wind press gear?
No.
So you don't get knocked around by dragons flapping their wings and stuff like that. There's gear that negates that. Now, if you got powerful enough version of that, then which is called Dragon Wind Press, then you're pretty much immune to the wind barrier. You don't even have to care.
Oh, cool.
But I think that only helps melee people, because if you're shooting a shot, the shot's going to get deflected anyways.
Makes sense.
I honestly, I haven't tested it out, so I could easily. But again, he will keep fighting you until he reaches, either time runs out or he reaches the 60% mark of his health, or if it's 30%, or he's just close to almost dying, and you get the 25-minute mark. If you get past the 25-minute mark and just exactly bring him down, like I say, the fight's 40 minutes in, and finally you take him down to 60% health, then he'll run with the second you hit that mark. You get 4 attempts to kill him off. If you fail, his health resets fully. If you get him down to 50%, his health will, and he runs, his health will reset up to 60%. But all the parts you've broken stays broken.
So his wind barrier doesn't come back in between fights.
Exactly. So, that's why it's critical to hit the head. Usually what I'll do the first round I ever fight this guy, bring a hammer. Because you can sort of charge up your attacks. If you time it right, you can run in there, unleash the fully charged attack, and then dodge to the side just in time to avoid getting hit by the wind barrier. You can do this between his breath weapons. So that's kind of my own pro tip. But with the gun lance, it takes some getting used to. The first recording I did of this was absolutely terrible because remember when I mentioned there was the fight where the cat would always throw bombs in my face whenever I had a chance to attack? How's this one?
Yeah!
So, while I did repel him, I just said, screw it, I'm doing it over. Let's not save. Let's reset everything and try it. So I was not happy. And then I kept the second video, mainly just because, well, I'll explain later. For now, we need to break his wings and head and all these parts.
Get to breaking.
Oh yeah. But all in all, you're gonna have to expect these fights to take quite a while with Elder Dragons. What with needing to fight them over multiple missions. If you do really well, you can actually... I mean, if you bring overpowered gear, you can take them out in one mission. But if you just, in general, do really, really well, you could take them out in 2 missions with not overpowered gear.
He's got a lot of health, is what we're saying.
Yeah. I might be the worst place to aim with the weapons fire, but I really want to break that head. And as you see, his wind barrier's down because I knocked him out of the sky. Not out of the sky, but I hit him on his head to the point where he knocked down. But trust me, that wind barrier is pain. I've read of people who apparently did not know how to deal with the wind barrier, and they just kind of gave up at this point in the game because they couldn't get past him. Even though he's not required, they just like, screw it, if I can't fight this guy and win, then I don't want to play the game anymore. And you can't really get the Dragon Wind Press until you fight Diablos and get Diablos gear. So, I can't get the... Well, unless I were to play the off-hotline guild calls, then I'd get Diablos fights a little earlier.
But where's the fun in that?
Exactly. Most people are just only going to do the single player anyways. Ah, delicious potion. I've really been using very few potions this round. Quite happy with that. Also, another thing
You're doing better than I bet I'd do.
Oh, you gotta... I've been fighting these several times, so...
Yeah.
I guess you kind of get used to it. It's all about practice. Also, another thing that's really good about this armor for the Gunlance, that I might have forgotten to mention, is it has sharpness. Which means all that it takes longer to lose durability on your weapon.
Ah.
And remember that shelling eats durability away like crazy.
Seems useful.
So that means I can basically go crazy with shelling without having to worry about the sharpness too much.
I like how to reload, you just eject the bullets, and then you don't put any more in.
Well, it's auto reload, duh. But no, I'm actually quite happy that I don't have to bring ammo for this. That'd be a pain.
Yeah, I know. I just like fun.
I think right about there I break the horn with that Wyvern's Fire. I didn't notice that in the game. Didn't notice that until very
I didn't even know he had a horn.
Well, he has like 2 horns along his head.
Oh, like alongside.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it.
But yeah, I broke.
At least I see where they were.
And I've also broken all the wings too, because they don't have that big thumb claw. They have like
making some progress
out of them.
Yeah.
All that's missing is
thumb.
the tail. But now he can never put up his wind barrier. Quite happy about that.
Mission accomplished.
Actually, that's the first thing you should always focus on doing for the first round of this guy. Do as much damage as you can while at the same time getting as many hits on the head as you can. Because you can't really break the head until you do enough damage anyways. That was terrible. And then once you've broken the head, the wings don't do much other than getting better loot. Or more loot, I should say.
Yeah, I'm okay with more loot.
Exactly. But then you just focus on doing a lot of damage, and then when you think you've done enough damage, you try going for the tail. Aw, man, look, I'm just knocking them around like crazy. But that's the only downside about a lot of these Elder Dragons. You're gonna bounce out most of the parts of their body. The wings in particular, so if you're bringing a greatsword or a longsword, you're gonna hit the wings a lot and you're gonna bounce a lot if you try to attack them from the sides. Honestly, the gun lance is not a very good weapon to fight the Kashalador with, since he's so slim. He's not very beefy, so, you know, my Wyvern's Fire goes mostly...
He's a narrow target.
Yeah. Not good for gun lances. But, you know, the shield's helping at least. But I'd still do a lot better if I was using the lance. Not to mention the improved mobility.
You just charge him. You can charge him right back.
The charge is...
meet charge with charge.
The charge is only really good if, like, you have a Kutku who's weakened, trying to limp away, and you want to kill him. And then you just charge right into him as he's trying to run.
Or you could charge a charging dragon and just be the baddest motherfucker.
And you'd get hit anyways.
Who cares?
That's exactly that attitude that gets you killed, son.
Who cares? I'll die with glory.
So at this point, I figure I've done quite a bit of damage, so I'm gonna start trying to see if I can focus on that tail. It's really easy to hit the tail too when he's flying about, because when you're standing directly beneath him, he can't do anything to you unless he has the wind barrier. So right now he can do absolutely nothing to me when I'm right underneath him. Plus, the tail's perfect to hit with the gun lance when he's flying. You can also see part of his face is missing too. Break the head.
His face. You should wear it on your face.
I would if I could, but you know, limits of the game.
And then you could just look at him from across the mountain, and then somebody could like take a picture, so it'd be like his face staring back at his face.
I don't know what good that would do.
It would just be cool.
And don't ask. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I went to Area 7, because I was right next to the zone line of Area 7, and it'd probably take me just as long to go, you know, across.
You might as well.
Either way, at this point I was really tired when I was recording. I still remember how tired I was. And no, it wasn't because it was recent. Ah, he turned around. Oh well. But
The turning.
I mean, these fights are very long, but I find them very enjoying because they do a lot of different things, and they're very different and unique. Rather, whereas the Monoblos, all he can do is charge.
He's just Dragons Part 2.
Not even. Dragon's 0.1. All he knows is how to charge at you, and that's it. And of course I'm getting terribly mauled, too.
Gotta roll all over the ground.
And be covered in snow and ice.
This is the secret to the fight. You roll on the ground enough and you get ice armor.
Unfortunately, that's not quite how it... I think
That's a lie.
I think you even take more damage when you're in the ice and you get hit.
No, I know.
And he's just gonna be a big jerk and fight the zone line. I love it when they do that. Cat's not even around, he's just still...
Look what I can do! Check it out! I can hang out in the zone! And you can't.
Yes, that's exactly what I can't do, and that's what's so annoying. And he goes back in there!
He's learning.
Well, here's the thing, in Area 6, Kushaladora loves to charge around for some reason, because he has the space for it. And he decides not to charge, he decides just to stand there by the zone line. And that's really annoying.
Just chilling.
Oh, that warming effect. Almost have hot drinks, too. Oh, we're getting close to the 25-minute mark as far as the mission time goes. So he should be running.
Running like a bitch.
Ah, let him run. I'll kill him later. In fact, I'll kill him in the next video.
Yeah.
I actually did really good in this one run here. I got a lot of damage in on him. So that's actually really good for the Let's Play, because then I don't have to record 3 or 4 videos.
3 fights with
Exactly.
Deora.
And again, I can only really kill him if I bring something, you know, really overpowered, like a dragon element. In fact, some of these Elder Dragon fights pretty much require you to bring a dragon element to, for example, break their head part, which is what's causing an aura. So, yeah, you want dragon element weapons. Probably the only reason why they decided not to make this where you require dragon element to break the head is, I guess my best guess is because this is the first one they toss you up against the single player. And by that time you don't have any dragon element.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty lame though, too. You know, like, oh, you need dragon element to do this. We're just gonna... This is your first fight. Unfortunately, you don't have it.
Hope you brought this weapon that you've never heard of.
That you can't get unless you have friends who can sequence break you through the game. Ah, I'm gonna get that tail. Ah, one of these days. One of these days I'll get more than one hit on it. There we go. Snapped it off. And it's just the tiniest little
I
stump
have
of the tail.
all your body parts.
It's the tiniest little stump of the tail. Totally worth it. But that means he's at 30% health. That means I did actually really damn good considering I'm using level equivalent weapons. Or I should say level appropriate weapons. But trust me, gun lances is not the easiest thing to fight with. It's not bad. It would have been better if I had brought my super powered gun lance, which I'm not supposed to be not supposed to have yet. Because then it has a long shelling type, and I can shell the head with more ease at a distance, even if he has his aura up. Plus, the long shotgun lance type does more damage compared to shells, so... Oh well. But that was actually a very, very, very good run. I don't think I could have gotten it better.
Yeah.
Again, if I had a more powerful weapon, I could have killed him, I'm sure. But that would kind of defeat the point of, you know, showing...
Got his tail. Just take it home.
Yeah. Not a very big tail. Also, I'm gonna abuse the cat. At this point, I was very angry at the cat. The cat had to suffer. The cat screwed up my first run.
Quit shooting at me!
It's like the cat was aiming the bombs at me the entire time. And waiting for critical key moments to toss them in my face. I'm helping! Not.
Well, it's splash damage, you see.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have to hit him, I just have to hit near him.
And see,
It's your fault for also being close.
you even get rewards even if you don't kill it. You don't get as good or as many rewards, but you get rewards nonetheless. So we will see you
Plus, there's
in
a
the
club
final
later.
Kashala Daora video.